Hello, I am José from France, and today I am going to show you how to connect to a DigitalOcean droplet automatically with PuTTY on Windows. If you succeeded in doing that, please like and leave a comment on this video. The requirements to connect automatically to a DigitalOcean droplet with Windows is first to have Windows, of course. You need to download PuTTY, which is a terminal with which you can connect on the DigitalOcean droplet. You need to have PuTTYgen, which is a software which will help you to get a public and a private key to secure your connection to the droplet. You need to have a DigitalOcean account. I am sure you have one. And you need to create a new droplet. This feature is not available if you didn't enable it at the beginning. I'm just showing you an example method to connect automatically to a droplet with DigitalOcean. First, you need to download PuTTY and PuTTYgen, as we are going to see. Then you need to create a pair of keys, a private and public key, which are ciphered by RSA algorithm. Then you need to secure the private file. You can keep it on your PC. I would recommend to use a secure USB key to secure the private key, so that you can connect even if you are going outside and moving from your house. You can connect to your droplet. Then we need to create a new droplet. In the example, I'm creating a lamp stack. Then you have to fill in the public key, which has been created with PuTTYgen in the form during the creation of the droplet. And finally, you can connect with PuTTY, indicating the private file in PuTTY and the root user, and connecting in a single click with PuTTY. So that's great. So I just type in HTTP 3 W's PUTTY.org. Here I just click on the first link. There's options, but I'm just downloading PuTTY here. And so the links are here. You can install PuTTY with the installer here, whether you're on 32 bytes or 64 bytes architecture for your PC. So you have the installer. You can download it here, or even by FTP. And then we need PuTTYgen here for your architecture. So you have two files here. You have to select the one you want to use. Personally, I have a 64 byte architecture PC, so I just used this one to download it there from HTTP or there from FTP. So just download the files and use them as shown afterwards. Now I am going to create a new droplet on DigitalOcean. I choose Ubuntu, the latest stable version of Ubuntu. Then I go on here on one-click apps, and I choose for this example a distribution I like the most, which is LAMP. It is Linux, Nginx, MySQL, and PHP on the latest Ubuntu version. For this example, on my droplet, a droplet that fits my earnings. I don't add a block storage for the moment, but I can do it later as my MySQL database grows or the file system grows. As I'm from France, I choose Amsterdam in Europe here as the data center region. I'm going to enable private networking. If I work with other droplets, they can communicate together with this option, and I choose IPv6 here for my usage. The option that is very interesting for this video is here to add an SSH key. So if I click here, I'm going to add here the content of the public key that we are going to generate with PuTTY. So now I show you on PuTTyGen how to generate a new key. Here in the menu, please be sure to have SSH-2 RSA key chosen as an option. And then you can click generate here, and you have to move the mouse here to generate randomness for the key to be generated. It's not a joke, it's as it's written here. And now the RSA public key and private key have been generated. So we are just going to select the code here. Then here I copy it to the clipboard, and I go back to the creation of the droplet as we have seen, and I just paste the code here. So you have here SSH-RSA, the content of the key, and then the key here. I have to say that the private key is not protected by a passphrase. We are going to see that afterwards. Here you can name the name of the public key. So I am going to set in here the name of the droplet I am going to create, and I will just write here public key just as a reminder. So then I add the SSH key before I create the droplet. So now I come back to PuTTyGen. I'm going to save the private key on my computer. You can't see it now, but I just saved the file in a folder. I'm going to be sure I know where it is. So I just say the name of the droplet dash public key dot key. Then I'm going to save the private file here. That is a file that you have to secure. It's a file that you need to keep for later usage all the time the droplet is on. So if you keep the droplet all your life, you have to save the private key and keep it secure all your life. You can save the private key on a USB key, for example. So here I have a message you can't see on the screen. I have a message that says that there's no passphrase on the private key, so I'm just going to save it with no passphrase so I can connect automatically. So I just name the private key the name of my droplet dash private key dot priv dot ppk. That is the ppk is the extension for private key on PuTTY. So I just save the key like this on my computer. Here I just put 2048 as the number of bytes for the private key. It's the security of the private file. So you can put 2048 there if you want. 10 to 24 is good also, so it's as you like. So now that the private key is secured, here I didn't create the droplet, so I'm going to do it now. So I'm just creating the droplet now. It's named courriel-v2, which means emails v2 on in French. So just waiting for the droplet to create. Great, the droplet is now created. I have the IP. I have my private key. So now I can connect on the droplet. So I'm just going to copy here the IP of the new droplet. I am going to go here on PuTTY. I'm just putting here the IP of the droplet, freshly created. Then I go on connection and data. So in data, I put in root as a auto login username. And then in the auth here option, I browse. You can't see it on the screen, but I just browse to the private key I created. It has to have the extension PPK so that you can find it automatically without selecting all files when you select the files. So you have to name the private key file with PPK extension to find it easily. Then I'm going to go on the session here, name the session. That's the name of my droplet. Then I just put root here. I'm going to click save. It has been added. So now I just double click on the PuTTY link, and there's a message here which says that I have received the fingerprint of the remote host. So I can say yes, because I trust that the remote host is the one I created, and I want to connect to it with the private key, so it just works fine. Next step is to create a user without root privileges, but with administrative privileges to secure everything that is done on the droplet. So I'm just using add user here to add a user I'm going to use daily on a day-to-day basis. So I just type in add user and the name of the user. And then I use user mode -a capital G sudo group José. So that means that the user José is going to be in the sudo group so that it has administrative privileges. So now I am going to create, I'm going to the home folder of José. I'm creating the mkdir .ssh folder, as it already exists. There's an error message here, but you shouldn't have one. So if I just see what's in there, there's an SSH folder. So now I am going in the root in the SSH folder of my user. Now I just type in vi authorized keys. I just type in vi authorized keys. Then I type in I so that I can insert something in the file. Then I go back to PuTTYGen and I'm just generating a new pair of keys for my own user on the droplet. So I just generate randomness here with the mouse so it goes faster. And then I just select and copy the text here. Go back to my droplet, insert the key, save it, typing in $WQ in VI, use nano if you prefer. Then I just cut the authorized keys here. It's the same content as I passed it in. So that's the public key the host is going to use to connect as the user Jose. So now I go back to PuTTYGen, save the public key for the fun. So I type in the name of the droplet, then the name of the user, then public key.key, and now save the private key. So it says, as it has said before, that there's no passphrase. So I just say yes, it's okay, there's no passphrase because we want to connect automatically. And then I just type in the name of the droplet, private, then the name of the user, .priv.ppk, then save the file. That's the private file we want to keep during the life cycle of the droplet. And now we go on PuTTY. Now we go on PuTTY again. I just load the root profile here to go on the droplet. So I go on data here, put the username I created, then in SSH auth I just put in the private key I just created. Then I go in session here, put the name of the session with the user, then save it, then double click on it. And here we are connected with the new user. This video is now over. Please leave a like or a comment for anything you want to talk about the content of this video. If you just want to say hello, it's okay also. So now I tell you that I wish you great success with your DigitalOcean droplet. Goodbye.